Halifax was 26 years old. She lived with her husband Bello and their two small children in a face me, I face you building close to a dirty canal in Lagos. The water by the canal always smelt, and wooden planks served as the walkway to their room. The house was always noisy, children crying, women quarreling, men talking about football or politics, but that was home. Halifax was in her 9th month of pregnancy. Her belly was big and heavy. She often sat outside in the evenings, rubbing it gently, watching other women cook or wash clothes. Sometimes she smiled when the baby kicked. Sometimes she sighed and whispered, "God, just make everything easy." Life was not easy for them. Bello was a KK driver, but his tricycle had been faulty for some weeks. They barely managed to eat twice a day. Their rent was due, and the landlord had warned them already. Many nights, Halifax went to bed on gari and groundnuts. She dreamed of delivering her baby in a proper hospital, with nurses, clean beds, and light. But when she thought about the money, her heart grew heavy. Even the government clinic required at least 10,000 naira as a deposit. They didn't even have 1,000 naira saved. Her neighbor, Mama Peace, often comforted her. "Halifax, no worry. Now so women they born before hospital come. My mama born me for house. You go born like lion." Halifax nodded, forcing a smile. But deep down, she was scared. The pains in her waist had been coming more often. But each time, she brushed it off and told herself it was just part of pregnancy. That night, she and Bello argued quietly in their small room. The bulb above them was dim, the sound of mosquitoes filling the air. "Bello, I want us to go hospital this time." Bello sighed. "You know say I no get money. Even if I want, where I go see 10,000 naira?" She looked at him sadly. "But Bello, if anything happen, call." He turned his face away. "God go help us. Mama Ebun don't deliver many women." Mama Ebun was an old traditional birth attendant who had delivered many babies in the area. She was respected, but worked with herbs and old tools. Bello's mother and Halifax's mother both believed in her. Even Halifax's own mother said, "No fear, I born you for house too." But Halifax remembered something else. A young woman in the next compound had died last year during labor. The story still haunted her. She didn't say it out loud. She only nodded and whispered, "God, protect me." At around 3 a.m. one Friday morning, Halifax woke up with sharp pains in her lower belly. At first, she thought it was the usual cramp. She turned on her side and tried to sleep. But the pain came again, stronger. "Bello, Bello," she whispered, shaking him. He opened his eyes weakly. "Wetin happen?" "I think it don't start." Bello jumped up, confused and scared. He ran to fetch water and helped her sit up. The contractions kept coming. By sunrise, she was groaning and breathing heavily. Bello ran out to call Mama Ibu. Mama Ibu arrived with a black nylon bag. Inside were herbs, a small razor blade, thread and old cloths. She smiled confidently. "My daughter, relax. You go born like queen." Neighbors began gathering outside the room. Some peeked through the curtain, whispering and offering advice. "Make she no fear," said one woman. "Now so my sister born twins last month for house." Halifax tried to believe them. She sat on a mat while Mama Ebun massaged her belly with a towel soaked in warm herbal water. The pain was heavy. She screamed at intervals. Sweat drenched her wrapper. The room was small and hot. The air smelled of herbs and dust. There was no electricity. Only daylight streamed in through a small window. Bello stood near the doorway, helpless, wiping his face with a handkerchief. Hours passed. The pain grew worse. The baby was not descending. Halifax's breathing became shallow. Mama Ebun frowned slightly but said, "Push small. Good, good." Outside, children played loudly, unaware of the danger inside. Some women laughed and said labor pain they always had before pikin come. But something was wrong. Blood started dripping on the mat. Mama Ebun quickly covered it with a cloth and muttered a prayer. She told Bello quietly, "Make you find transport. If it too much, we go move go hospital." Bello ran out again. He begged a bikeman nearby, "Abeg, my wife dey labor. Carry us go general hospital. I go pay later." The man shook his head. "No fuel, and I know they carry credit." Bello's eyes filled with tears. He ran to a shop to borrow money. The woman there shouted, "Not be every day you go to beg. Go find work." He returned with empty hands. His heart was heavy. Inside, Halifax was weaker. Her eyes rolled. Her lips were dry. "Mama, I know they feel my legs well," she whispered. Mama Ebon looked scared but hid it. "You go to find, just push small." By midday, Halifax was exhausted. Her face looked pale. Her breathing slowed. Mama Ebon told one of the neighbors to boil more water, but there was no kerosene. They used the remaining firewood. Bello came back panting. "Them not gree carry us." Mama Ebon said nothing. She pressed Halifax's stomach gently. The baby was not moving well. She began to panic quietly. Outside, people started to sense something was wrong. "If na hospital them go now, them for don't save her," someone whispered. By afternoon, Halifax's body started shivering. Sweat poured down her face. She screamed one last time, then went quiet. Mama Ebon shouted her name. "Halifax! Halifax!" No answer. She sprinkled water on her face, nothing. Bello knelt beside her, crying loudly. "Halifax! Wake up! Please!" Mama Ebun placed her ear on Halifax's chest. Then she checked her stomach. The baby was still. She whispered, "The baby don't weak. We need hospital now." Two young men rushed in to help. They lifted Halifax carefully on a wooden bench to carry her out. But as they reached the compound entrance, a heavy gush of blood soaked through her wrapper. One man dropped his end of the bench, shaking his head. "Ah, she don't go." Bello froze. He fell to the ground, crying loudly. The neighbors started shouting, some praying, some screaming. Children were pulled away from the scene. Mama Ebun tried again, pressing Halifax's stomach, calling her name. Nothing. Her hands trembled. The room fell silent, except for Bello's sobs. After a few minutes, Mama Ebun looked down and whispered weakly, "She don't die. And the baby too." By evening, the whole compound knew. Women cried. Some blamed Bello. Some blamed poverty. Some blamed fate. Halifax's mother arrived running, shouting her daughter's name. When she saw the covered body, she screamed and collapsed. "My child! My only daughter! Wake up!"
Bello sat quietly in one corner, shaking his head, his face swollen from tears. He stared at the small baby clothes folded neatly in the corner of the room. He touched them gently and broke down again. The landlord came and asked where to keep the body till morning. Someone suggested the morgue, but Bello had no money. Mama Ebun left quietly before people started blaming her. She wiped her eyes and disappeared into the night. By morning, the slum was quiet. No one argued. No one played loud music. Even the children played softly. Women swept slowly in front of their doors, their eyes red from crying. Word spread across the area. Another woman and baby lost to home delivery. An old man in the compound said sadly, "If to say then go hospital for night, even if them owe, then for treat her. Life no get part two." Mama Peace, who once said hospital was not necessary, stayed inside her room, crying quietly. Later that day, as they prepared Halifax's body for burial, a young pregnant woman whispered to her husband, "If my time reach, we go hospital. I no want die like Halifax." And that was how Halifax's story ended. A young mother gone too soon. A husband broken and empty. A baby who never cried. The compound learned a bitter lesson. Tradition without safety is danger. Poverty without plan is death. Delay is not protection. The canal still flowed behind the house. Life went on, but something inside that slum changed forever. Halifax was gone. Her baby never saw light. Her story remained. A warning, a cry, and a truth that too many poor women already know.